Hi, I'm Panda Hershey with Your Full Expression. Welcome to the July 5th Coffee and Charts call, where we talk about how you might be feeling really far behind or far from meeting your goals. What you're really getting over the next 2 weeks is some perspective and also space to find that determination within you that knows that everything you want is on the other side of some very hard work. As my business coach says, you have what it takes. And the question is whether you're willing to give what it takes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. The time that we're in right now is a real shift from where we were in the first 5 months, first 5.5 months of 2023. I hope you are feeling that somewhere there has been either a resolution or a placing to the side or something that was taking up all your time, and you aren't focusing on that so much, but somehow you're able to give your energy to something you've been waiting to do that is calling to you to show up, and there is space to actually be with it. And hopefully you have found that thing. And right now, it feels as though there's just so many ideas coming or so many things swirling in your head that you can't keep up with all of the things that are crossing through your brain. And so this is where we're at in terms of like, I feel like a real division from the first part of the year to this summer camp of diving in, figuring out what we're going to grow and being appreciated for it. And so I'm going to share my screen. Did figure out some of the technical difficulties from last time. And where are we when we kind of look at where everything is right now? And we start by remembering first that here Venus and Mars are way up ahead in Leo. They're like, if everything spins in this direction, everything is moving in this direction, they're kind of in the lead. And Mars is almost done with that Venus portal. And not only that, a few days ago, they were as close together as they were going to get. So like 3.5 degrees. And so what does that feel like as they start to separate, as Venus is slowing down because it's getting to closer to its place where it's going to retrograde at 28.5 degrees, and Mars keeps pushing ahead. So it is feeling like Mars is trying to open doors. It's driving you ahead to keep going. But the Venus, the appreciation, the receiving, is lagging behind. And if you think about it right now as just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into your stuff, that you're getting into harder work. You're getting into the things that mean more to you and you don't always work with, or it takes time to get there. And the appreciation of it internally, mostly of, oh my gosh, I can do this, takes time, will take time to catch up. So if you're feeling like, ooh, I'm like getting on top of it, and then, oh man, it's still getting harder work and I'm putting more effort into it, but it's not quite coming together as quickly as I felt like it was going to, this is sort of why. And Mars will keep going into Virgo of honing and refining and keeping you on task. And I like to think of it right now as at least quiet determination. You know, that has to come from within you to say, I'm going to work on this. And it doesn't matter whether anyone notices or not. I know I'm here and I can do this and I will do this. And everything I want is on the other side of my giving to this. So there's that going on. And that's way ahead of what we're actually doing. So Mercury crossed over the sun on June 30th. And when that happens and it's going full speed ahead, it has picking up speed to go move about 2 degrees a day, at least in our perception, while the sun moves 1 degree a day. So if you think of Mercury as your mind and your ideas, like your mind is speeding ahead really, really fast. And the sun, your ability to actually act on it, do something about it, like check that box off as your mind is giving you all these ideas, is just lagging behind. And this requires some patience, and it should be a bit of a familiar pulsation, right? This always happens after a Mercury retrograde portal where Mercury picks up speed, speeds ahead, and then it starts to slow down again and they meet up again. And that will happen in 2 months. So if you're feeling behind, this is kind of why. And, you can make one of those almost calendars where, I'll say people in jail like have the 60 days and they start crossing them off one by one. So you give yourself 2 months to say, okay, I can catch up in 2 months. I'm not going to do it today, but I'm going to give myself the time and I'm going to keep at it. And this is kind of where we're at right now. And I hope that makes sense and is reassuring. Okay, so here we are today, and we'll just tick ahead and see how things are going. On the 7th, in 2 days, Mars finishes with the Venus portal at 28.5 degrees of Leo. And Venus won't get here for another like 2 weeks or so. So if you think about on whatever you're doing on July 7th and whatever you're like determined to do and putting your heart into, committing to, it takes 2 weeks for you to get that acknowledgement, to feel like, oh, I've got this, and it won't be immediate. So just remember that as you're moving through these next 2 weeks, that things, there will be this mismatch in energy, and it's not you. It is just the flow that we're in right now. On the 9th, Mercury is here at like almost 28 degrees of Cancer, and it is opposite the start of the Pluto portal. And remember that Pluto is in retrograde motion right now. So we're not pushing ahead, but we have in the back of our minds, deep inside us, this knowledge and this aim of trying to get ourselves to the next level, like pulling everything we know together, that Capricorn energy, to create a path to getting to the next level. And when Mercury is opposite, that means we have some perspective on it. And it feels like we're so far away. But the ideas that come at this point from having that perspective help you turn the corner and help you get going back around to where you're going to be about 6 months from now. So listen to your instincts. And if you're feeling really far away from your goals, this is because like you really are as far away as you can be in terms of the cycle. On the 10th, Mars is opposite the start of the Saturn portal. And Mars is commitment, and Saturn has been creating rules or creating frameworks for people who are in that boat with you, that tiny little community that really gets what you're going through, and you are sharing this experience somehow. And when I think about this opposition of Mars and Saturn, they're pretty, can be very yang type energies. Mars is saying, I got to work on this. I've got to make this good. And it's really for me. but the benefit of it will take place 6 months from now as this Saturn energy of being part of a group and being part of a team, being able to work with the people around me in this really tight knit group is going to be better because I have done this work. So the thing that just came to my mind is a relay race, right? There are the four of you running around the track, and the handoffs have been terrible. And if you work on your handoffs, when you guys all get back together, the whole team is going to work better, right? So it's that kind of energy of what do I need to work on to help the team be more cohesive. And remember that everyone else is doing their work too. So everyone is going to come back with their own skills and things they've been working on. So Mercury quickly, in just 2 days, passes across from that Pluto portal and gives you a glimpse of where things can be. And with Mercury in Leo, it's thinking about what I'm good at. What can what do I have to offer that is a perspective of how things need to change? And Leo can be very comfortable. And so it's that stretch that we have to make to get ourselves to the next level. Some perspective on that. Okay. On the 17th, Mercury has made its way all the way to 12 degrees of Leo, which is where the Venus portal starts. And you'll start thinking about, oh, this is what I'm good at. Maybe you'll have conversations about, here are the things I've been trying out. This is what's going well for me. You may get feedback from people about that. They may have just given you compliments before, oh, you're doing a great job. And now it's the time of, okay, well, what do I actually do with this? What can it be? And you'll get about a week of that, of discussing that. And we meet again on the 19th. So I hope that energy is resonating with you guys for the next couple weeks. Let's go back. And what are the things that we can watch? This here, there's about 5.5 degrees between the sun and Mercury. You'll see them start to separate. And then the same thing here, Venus and Mars will start to separate. And then, as always, the moon is always fun to watch. Speed through here. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. So when we get to the retrograde portal guide, or what's happening with all the different portals, this is a reminder, this is my chart just to show you. Here is that Venus portal in the 4th and 5th areas of my life, my home, what is fun and easy for me. And this time where Mars is going through, how am I standing up for and committing to the gifts that I have to offer? How am I believing in myself? How are you believing in yourself? Oops. This one was supposed to go away. Not sure why this is here. Sorry about that. Pluto. The Pluto portal, a good time to go back and read, like, what am I up to again? And remember, it's in retrograde. So you're not working on it directly. It's like you're doing this other stuff so you can come back to this and do this work. And, for me, here's that tiny Pluto portal in my 10th area, the way I impact the world. And, from July 9th to 11th, what ideas are coming to me instinctively? Like I can't think my way there, just have to almost sit in silence with my eyes closed to help me turn the corner and get to where I want to be. And I know I have 6 months to get there. So, how do I do that? That perspective on the Saturn portal, where somewhere I am creating structure for the people that are sharing my experience. You guys are part of that. I feel like coffee and charts is part of this being in the boat together. And, with Mars moving into Virgo, how am I trying to do it right? How am I putting my heart into creating some beauty and elegance so that this experience can be as shared as possible? And so for each of you, where is this happening? Where are you trying to create beauty? And then think about the other side of that, of where is this impacting the people that you're in connection with? Okay. So when I think about these next 2 weeks, there's some a Mars energy that keeps us going, commitment, putting our heart into whatever it is we're doing. I'm thinking about it as, this quiet determination and an internal commitment to refinement that are leading the way right now as Mars is way ahead of everything else and pushing into Virgo. And if you're feeling like you're behind and far from your goals, it's because all the activity is on the other side of where those energies are, right? It's as far away as it can possibly be. And so you're getting some perspective on how to turn that corner and start bringing things around. And you've got time to do that. So just to recap, Mars finishing its movement through that Venus portal. Be confident in what you have to offer. And be careful not to hit people over the head with it. I have to work on that all the time. What feels easy and effortless. And remember that for people to acknowledge what you're doing, especially right now, is going to take some time for them to say, you know what, that was really helpful. That was really great. So your confidence and your ability to hang with it is what will get you there. Mercury moving through these last bits of Cancer and into Leo opposite the Pluto portal gives you that perspective on the work you're doing to get yourself to the next level. And listen to your instincts for those 3 days. Starting for about a week and a half, Mars here in Virgo is opposite Saturn. So how is that determination to create beauty and elegance or to hone what you're good at, helping you be a better part of the team, bring something back to the team to work better with them? And finally, with Mercury moving through that Venus portal, what are you recognizing about your talents? It's less about the appreciation. You've gotten a ton of it. So now you can process it, hopefully with someone to, get some honest feedback about what you're going to be able to do to make it even better. And that's really sort of it. It's in some ways kind of a quiet couple weeks. So this summer is about you and your growth. And the thing that goes with that is that's what everyone else's summer is also, is working on them and their own growth. Cut yourself some slack because things take time. Change takes time. Boy, I learn about this every day. And with the long view, just recognizing that you're kind of working on the opposite side of the field from where you're trying to be. helps you remember that it won't happen overnight, but showing up is what will get you there. And that confidence that you have is mostly from within, especially right now, as the encouragement from external sources gets a little quieter or a little slower. And just with that in mind, remember that offering those compliments up to others as they're doing a good job is what they need as well. So, kind of a quiet 2 weeks. And then finally, I'm requesting feedback because I've created this PDF that I'm going to be offering for free. But I need feedback from people who will can give that to me. And it's essentially taking all of these stories for each of the portals and putting them together into a booklet. And I've summarized them. And what I realized recently is that this is the easy thing for me to offer because it doesn't require the natal charts. It doesn't require the personalization that I try to do with everything. And so if you guys are interested, when you get the email with the replay and you would like it, let me know. I'll send it to you. And how easy is it to understand, use? The title is terrible. Any feedback would be great. So anything to make it better. So that's it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen or switch to me and see. Any questions, comments? Does it feel right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I'll there's, I can see it, I can feel it. And also I'm interested in the PDF. Thank you.
You bet, Min. Share. How are
Yeah.
you doing?
Good. So I'm wondering when you do like a general, like what you're doing now, that this applies to everyone. So how do you relate that to like what's going on in like your natal chart, let's say, or that's just a whole, like how does that differ? It's
Great question. What I do is I start pulling in where is, for example, that Venus in Leo in your chart. And that actually is what I do in my one-on-one coaching that I'm actually going to stop doing and do only essentially within this membership men's part of it, where we basically take every one of those stories that I keep talking about every time, and you see where it's happening in your life. You get a hint of that when I say, here it is, and this is on my impact in the world or my fun or my home.
mhm.
And then there are ways to write coaching questions based on where that is. It touches certain parts of you. So, for example, with that Jupiter in Taurus, how am I growing? How I show up in this part of my life? That's the basic portal. And then you find all the parts of you in that degree range, and you say, while I'm using this part of me, and it's probably not in Taurus, right? It's a stretch while I use this other part of me. And you've got this list of questions that is your coaching from the universe. And it's your checklist of, well, am I doing something that, for example, allows me to have my basic needs if it touches your moon? And if it doesn't, then it's, oh, maybe I need to go somewhere else, try something else. If I'm feeling affirmed in using my tools, then this is probably where I'm supposed to be. And if it feels good and I feel like I want to work hard, I'm probably in the right spot.
Mhm.
I hope that makes sense. But that's basically what I do as we start digging in. But the overall stories all relate because it's all a matter of how the dial is turned on your chart.
Mhm. Mhm.
Does
Yeah.
that makes sense? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
You have to learn
So
astrology better as well.
that's okay. You're here. I mean, just even recognizing Sun and Mercury, thoughts and doing, right? That you hear that over and over again, and starts to like slowly become part of you.
Mhm. Thank you. Helpful, very helpful, actually, everything you were saying.
Good, good. A lot of self-love for ourselves, right? This is what is required right now to make it through.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Well, if you guys want the freebie, anyone on the replay when you get this, and you want that, I
Oh, yeah,
would
I do.
appreciate the
Yes, I'd
feedback.
like you to, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm late again, but working hard on that. And um, as always, I'm here to support you. Send questions, anything my way. Okay. Take good care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. I hope you feel prepared to move easily through these next 2 weeks. Keep showing up for yourself. And when you see people around you offering their talents, offer back a heartfelt compliment. And you never know, what goes around comes around. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.